Hi guys, the purpose of this video is for me to show you a little bit about Zearn, which will be the new math program that we are using during this continued distance learning. Now, Governor Cuomo did announce yesterday that we would be out of school until at least May 15th. So that means the next month, this is what we are doing. This, I hope, is the next best thing. Well, nothing's as good as being in a classroom together, but Zearn does follow the modules very closely. It is pretty user-friendly, and it is something that I've used in the classroom before. I did not use it this year or last year. I used it my third year of teaching. My students really did enjoy it during that time. I feel that it follows the modules very closely so that during this time your children can continue to learn about the module work so that they will be prepared for third grade next year. Now, each of you are getting this video in an email, and attached to that email I have all the information you need to know about Zearn. So I have your child's username, I have their password, I have the class code. Then I also wrote a little blurb about my expectations for Zearn. Since there are 5 days in a school week, your child is expected to do 5 Zearn lessons a week. Now, depending on how long your child's taking on some of the elements, depends on how long the lesson will take, just like, anything. So if your child says, hey, I want Monday to be math day, and on Monday your child does all 5 lessons, that's fine with me. Or maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I want to focus on math. However your child wants to do it. But my expectation is that the week starts on Monday. And for Google Classroom and everything else I'm going to be doing during this time, if there's a due date, I'm going to make it till that Sunday. Because I know that some of the kiddos have been completing work on the weekends. I don't know if it's due to boredom or they want to spread out their work, more evenly over the time. It is up to you. But this is meant to be helpful and having your child continue learning. It's not meant to be a stressor. And I'm hoping that this video will help you understand what your child will be doing on it. And they really should be able to do the work for this on their own. Maybe the first time they sign on Monday, April 20th, you might want to sit with them. But it's something I've learned in the class and kids were able to do on their own. So the first thing you do is you go to zearn.org right in your Google browser. Okay, I did that. Now, your child's username is first name, last name. There's no period in between. So mine is test student, WW. I had to put WW because there's apparently a lot of test students on Zearn. So then I type in my password. Your child's password is also on your handy dandy cheat sheet that is attached to this email. And then sign in. Now, I've already signed in once because I've honestly made this video about 17 times and I've restarted and restarted and restarted. So it's going to pop up and say class code. And the class code is right there. And it is also attached to all of your child's cheat sheets. So don't worry. So your child's home screen will look like this. It says, hey, test, but it would have your child's first name. And then it says next up. So we are starting with module 6 and it would be lesson 1. So the modules, the word that Zearn use is mission. So it's mission 6. So what we have still left to do this year is mission 6, mission 7. So there are several parts to Zearn. And I want to go through that because I know that since it's new, your child might do the number gym, which is a warm-up, and be like, oh, I'm done with the lesson. No, there are a few things. It's not as easy as like a 1-minute lesson. It's nothing crazy though. But so I'm going to open it up to my teacher page. So each lesson, so you'll see lesson 1 says equal groups, says use manipulatives to create equal groups. So the number gym is that first part. It's not letting me click. right here, number gym. And this one's called make and break. Then it will go on to the next part, which is called blast. Okay, so it shows me what blast looks like. Blast, this one, for example, has 15 questions. So it says blast off. It's asking your child to do fact fluency. So 13, 16, 14, okay? It'll tell me how long it takes your child to complete it. And it's pretty cool. It's just a quick little warm up. So that's part 2. Part 3 is the learning lab. So that is the guided practice. There is a teacher that talks to them. So let me click on this. So,
hey Zearners,
let's start the teacher right there, okay? And she will go step by step with your child, explain what's going on in the lesson. This one's all about equal groups, so she's going to take those oranges, talk about what kind of equal groups you can put them into. Then you have the Tower of Power. So the Tower of Power is kind of like an exit ticket that we do in class. It's to see what your child took from the lesson. And the Tower of Power will go on and break it down farther if your child is struggling with it. So for example, if your child is struggling reading, they hit the speaker.
Arrange all the baseballs into 4 equal groups.
Okay.
Arrange all the baseballs into 4 equal groups.
So that's also nice about Zearn is that it can read the questions to the kiddos. So kiddos who might be struggling. And then, last but not least, there is a bonus. So click on the bonus and it's just like a extra question. So at the end of all of it, it will be like, hey, great job, you finished. So there are there are 5 parts to the lesson. Now, I just want to remind us that we should be the ones going on our accounts. It shouldn't be an older brother or sister. If they're saying they're helping you, that's fine, but they shouldn't be the one typing in numbers, clicking numbers. This is for you guys to continue with your math work. I do get notifications. So if I go to reports, and I'm not going to click on it because I don't want anyone's names to show, but if I click on reports, and actually I can because no one else has logged on. So paste. Oh, now it took me off my teacher account. So if I go to reports, it shows me how long you spent in the lesson. It shows me if you were struggling with any parts. And then at that point, if I see that you are struggling, I can message the adult in your house and say, hey, I would really like if I can have a Zoom meeting with your child just to re-go over the concept in the lesson. And that is how we are going to be doing math during this time. Now, iReady and Reflex will be just like an extra. Some kiddos, I will be asking you to do a little bit more on it than others, but I believe the idea is that for K through 2 that you guys are doing between like 1 to 2 hours of work a day. So between writing, math, spelling, it should take no more than 2 hours a day. So that would be about 10 hours a week. I want to remind you, you can do this however you want to do it. You can split up the work however you want to do it. But my expectation is that on Sunday, so if this starts Monday, April 20th, that by Sunday, April 26th, you have done up to lesson 5. I also am creating a pacing schedule for next week that also will be sent out. My hope is to get it sent out to you by tonight at 4 or 5. If not, it'll be something I'm working on tomorrow. But it'll just show you how you could have your child spend their day with the specific lessons that we will be doing next week. Now, I will not have any lessons posted for writing, spelling, reading. Nothing will be posted until Monday when all of this begins. I'll be waking up probably fairly early Monday morning so that if your child were ready to start right at 8 a.m., that everything should hopefully be right up on there. All right. As always, if you have any questions, please, please, please send me an email, send me a dojo, and I am here to help in any way I can. Thank you.